Good morning, beautiful people, if you're from Europe. If not, good afternoon or good night. I'm so happy to be here. My name is Bianca Chirnoaga, and I'm a certified facilitator of Talk to Entities, which is a specialty that I truly adore and has totally transformed my life. Well, today the topic is the one that brought me to talk to the entities. I wasn't always aware. I was aware of entities. Um, all that I know is that when I was little, at a certain point, my grandmother told me that she could perceive um, entities or demons in people, and that she was able to dissipate them or send them away. And I was like, oh my gosh, this so entities are real, ghosts are real. I want that capacity too, as in movies, like your grandmother has capacities, you should have them too. Like, oh, I'd like to have that. So I asked for it, like, ask and you shall receive. And I think in 2 years from that on, from even less, I start having a lot of weird thoughts in my head, thoughts that concern worriness, being apprehensive, black thoughts. I would talk about them as black thoughts, and I was so scared of them, and so I thought they were mine. Of course, like if you think, if you have them in your head, you suppose it's yours, and nobody. I didn't have any solution for that. I just thought there were more thoughts. Even if now that if I think about them, it's like, how would 5-year-old, 7-year-old, 18-year-old girl could have those thoughts? Like, it doesn't match energetically anything about it. So the years went by and I still had the black thoughts I was referring them to. And it was heavier and heavier to have these perceptions, these thoughts, a lot of judgment carry on with them, like of myself, like how could I possibly had those thoughts? How bad was I to have those thoughts? And it was really invalidating because I felt I couldn't talk to anybody about it, that I would have been made wrong by people or by psychiatrists, psychologists, even priests. I was like, maybe they're demons or stuff. About I knew about them because of religion, and still I couldn't know how to talk about it. And yeah, black thoughts. My mother was like, what are black thoughts? I don't know what are black thoughts. It's just they appear of all of a sudden, and I cannot control them. So years went by, and flash news, I moved to Italy. Not a good thing to do if you are so aware of entities and you don't know that you're aware of entities. And I moved here in Rome, where there are a lot of eras, people that have lived here in millennia, and so many entities. And these thoughts grew and grew and grew. Like, oh my gosh, I'm going crazy. Also, what I remembered afterwards, because I wasn't smart at the beginning, is that also my father at the time worked in the funerary area. So he worked with dead people. And then when he came back home, he seemed cool about it, yet his body was having all these different symptoms of itchiness and eczemas and so on and so forth. And I started to develop that as well, along with the black thoughts that were even bigger and bigger and bigger. Like, oh my gosh, I'm going crazy. Who or what can help me about it? And I visited priests and I visited everything. Nobody could tell me what were they exactly, and basically they were making me wrong for it. And just once I was also to the exorcist, and he was very chill about it. Like, he saw that I was behaving normally, and like, oh, could be, but I don't think so. But let's say this prayer together. Like, okay, didn't change anything. And when I moved, finally, when I moved into a home where there were so many presents, entity presents, before I thought it was only in my head. And then when we moved to this house, my mom also, that never had a capacity, or at least she wasn't aware that she was aware of entities, didn't have any weird perceptions, started to hear voices as well. I was like, you hear them as well? Yes. What are they? Like entities? Demons? Who knows? And it was at that point that my aunt, that had already taken my this class, the first class of toxic entities, told me, take this book, the book of toxic entities. And while I start reading about it, I was like, all my life described in those pages, all the weird perceptions, the black perceptions, the weird, like, it was all my life in those pages. And I was like, oh my gosh, so maybe I'm not crazy. Oh, it was such a relief also to dissipate the judgment I have developed about myself in those years. That was so harsh. It's like that I was bad and wrong and mean. And well, I started to use the basic clearing of entities, which is who are you, who are you before that, who are you before that, and who you be in the future. All of a sudden, like 98% of those thoughts ceased to exist. And finally, I could hear my voice, so that was behind all the louder voices. And I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, I could have handled all this with 3 questions. And of course, since then, it has been a journey, because I started to take the first class, which is the beginning class, with an adorable facilitator. And I still had a sort of perception about demons, I suppose, now. And I was like, and people were like, maybe you have demons. They were telling, like, maybe. Like demons. Oh my gosh, I'm so wrong. And I talked to the facility, like, me, maybe not even in class, in the break, and like, maybe I have a demon. And he was like, okay, so what? Everybody has them. Like, no, you didn't understand. Maybe I have a demon. Yeah, I got it, but what's the point? It's not that such a big deal. I'm like, really? No, it's pretty normal. And this, guys, I swear you not, like, this took off so much wrongness about, like, I had on my heart and soul, like, how bad and wrong are you supposed to be in normal world if someone tells you that you have demons? What have you done to have demons attached to you? And there is such sort of significance about it, and such sort of heaviness around it, and you're bad if you have that. And oh my gosh, so this, having this sort of facilitation around significance, it was like really quick. I was like, so I'm not wrong for perceiving them, or having them around in my life? Actually, no. If you have this sort of perception, or you're not wrong for having that. There is no right and wrong. Remember, what there is perception, and what do you do about it? What do you choose about it? And this literally changed my whole life and made my life so much easier, made me love myself again, and looked at what created those perceptions or those beings around me. Flash news. As you will discover more and more in these amazing classes, um, what kept demons around me wasn't that it wasn't because I was bad and wrong, it's because I was judging me. Ah, and I was judging me so harshly since I was 2. And I perceived them also, the judgment also in my household. People were fighting all the time and judged themselves a lot and judge other people a lot. And so I grew in this environment that seemed so beautiful and peaceful because I have received a lot of love in my childhood. Yet there was this energy of heaviness around and judgment. And this is what I learned, that it was normal to judge you, to judge yourself. And of course, the more I perceived those beings around me, the more I judged myself. And it was like a circle of looping of judgment and blah. This is how I could describe it better. And as soon that I realized that the judgment was the thing that invited um, unaware beings or demons in my life, was judgment. And I was like, I mean, I realized that I had to stop. But how do you stop judging yourself? Where you see it represented in the whole world. Judge yourself. Everyone depicts the perfect body, the perfect kind of behaving, the perfect kind of being. And you're like, oh, I'm not that, I'm not that, I'm not that. I must be wrong, I must be ugly, I must be not smart enough, and blah, blah, blah. I'm sure some of you would recognize that in their own lives. Well, how do you stop judging and inviting those beings as an effect of it? It's through gratitude. Gratitude has, for me, this is the first thing. For me, I started being grateful for my life and everything that I created and everything that my resources, people that loved me. I was grateful for them. And what actually I haven't done for a lot of time is realizing that I was not grateful for me. I was like, yeah, I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for that. I'm certainly grateful for that. And something was missing. I wasn't grateful for me. Like, oh my gosh, how am I so stupid? That's not a judgment. It was a 10 seconds awareness that I was playing stupid. So I started like, oh, I'm so grateful for myself. I'm so grateful for myself. Thank you. Thank me. Thank me. Grateful. I'm so grateful. And what happens is that the more you're grateful for you, the less nourishment and food, energetic food, there is for demons or unaware beings or beings that are um, willing to just create havoc in your life, don't have any food anymore to reach for. They don't have that energy to be around, and they just leave. So there is no struggle. There is no go away. I don't want you anymore around me. Ah, and playing drama and trauma as Italians would do, also Romanians. And I'm like, oh, gratitude dissipates this from the very base, and everything like thrives on gratitude. So, along with all the clearings that I've learned from toxic entities that have totally transformed and blessed my life, so grateful for the life I'm living now, and me that I have created it. Just to say, like, acknowledge that I'm grateful for myself. Um, those energies that I could perceive also in people, because like you're not just aware of your own demons, but you're aware of where people are functioning from, where they're judging themselves. If your mom has judged herself so much, or your parents or your peers and friends, and judgment, it's so present in our life, in the world. And you may freak out thinking that it's yours and not even asking yourself, so is it mine? Is it truly mine, or am I perceiving it from someone or something? And questions have allowed me to get again out of the wrongness and be present with what there is, be perceptive, acknowledging that I'm perceiving something and not having something. Totally game changer. So I'm talking about this because it's it's so made wrong and big and like, oh my gosh, go three away, like get rid of your demons and la la, and you're like you're freaking out and people are like, oh my gosh, I don't want to have demons. So all this actually makes it stronger and doesn't make you like, it doesn't allow you to like let it go. Fighting, if you fight against something, it doesn't make it go, it makes it stronger. Isn't that clever? Oh my gosh. I know. I mean, I fought a lot in my life against those perceptions, and it didn't work. And I was like, okay, so what does work? Gratitude. So what if we could like throw out of the window the significance that actually makes these beings thrive in our world? Significance, judgment, heaviness, slowing yourself and putting yourself down. Not a great ground for consciousness and lightness and beauty. So you're not wrong for whatever you're perceiving. You're just perceiving, and it actually makes like you're aware, and that's what we're doing, like creating more awareness and consciousness in our world. And you remember, if you're aware, like consciousness is not bad or wrong, it's just it's everything, it's included and nothing is judged. I know, right? So make yourself a favor, not make it significant, whatever you're perceiving, whatever black hole you're living in right now, or you're perceiving right now, or you think you have, and just let it go. Be grateful. Be grateful for yourselves and acknowledge, like, wow. Um, what am I creating that I haven't acknowledged, and how amazing am I that I have all these beings around that want to put me down, like fuck you. And also like really be grateful for you. This is the game changer that has totally changed my life. And also of course being aware that I'm aware of entities totally changed my life. And so I invite you guys to have be nice with you and be kind to you and be grateful for you and acknowledge that there's nothing wrong about you, whatever you're perceiving and facing right now. Just relax and be grateful. I have in my experience with people and these tools, I realized that other kids have these experiences and they judge themselves a lot and they don't know what these thoughts are about, and they they think they're bad, and some kids also they want to die. Like this is not a thing, like it's not a kids thing. I mean, it shouldn't be, yet there are this energies around that. Who would tell you that are entities or demons? Nobody talks about that. And this is to me such a except talk to the entities. Thank God. um it should be broad broad streamed. It should be really available as a tool, as an awareness. And this is what Talk to Entities is willing to create to make these tools more available to people, even to kids, even to share how much beyond all this self-hatred and judgment and demons, whatever is behind that, like beyond that, is pure bliss, magic, energy, gratitude, cooperation with beings that want consciousness and light. So if we're like willing to change this and be aware that, oh my gosh, these don't have any effect on me anymore, and you're grateful for you and you acknowledge your potency, then the magic of the infinite universe start to show up in so many forms and shapes. And since having this awareness and working with these tools, magic has shown up in my life. Even nowadays, I'm living in Italy in a villa that has next to it a church. And it showed up as if by magic, of course, with the help of entities, the contribution of entities as well. It's so beautiful. And so I'm so happy to share this story with you guys, my story, because I've hidden it for kind of a lot of time. Like, I don't want to talk about it. It's so significant. And like, it's not. It's just be grateful and really be intense with this gratitude for yourself and for your life and people around you. So have fun with these tools, guys. Be aware that you're aware. Don't judge yourself anymore and be willing to thrive. Choose to thrive. And there is so much and so many energies, beings, and entities that are willing to support you while thriving and growing in your life and making it magic. So, thank you for this episode. Thank you for being with me. And thank you, Talk to the Entities, deeply for totally transforming my life and making it the bliss that it is. And supporting me to getting out of the wrongness of me and what I was perceiving. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See you soon, wherever in the world. And yeah, how does it get any better than this? Bye.